Ladies and gentlemen, friends and fellow travelers on this journey of life, there's something deeply transformative about the moment we choose to step back. In our world, we're often told to push forward, to act, to make quick decisions and take control. But what if I told you that stepping back, taking a pause, could actually be the key to understanding our true selves and, more importantly, our true feelings? Let's consider something for a moment. How often do we act impulsively? How often do we respond to the pressure of the moment, the urgency of a situation, or the expectations placed upon us? We all have these experiences, and in these moments, our emotions can feel like the loudest part of our being, demanding attention and shaping our actions. Yet what happens when we step back and create a little space between the external world and our internal world? The truth is, when we step back, we give ourselves permission to observe without judgment, to reflect without rush. We create room to access deeper layers of awareness, those parts of ourselves that are often drowned out by the noise of daily life. Imagine this. You're facing a difficult decision, an emotional moment, or a challenging relationship. In the heat of the moment, it's easy to react based on what you've been conditioned to feel or what others expect you to feel. But when you step back, just for a moment, you can begin to peel away those surface-level emotions. You can observe what is truly happening within you beneath the noise. This is where the magic happens. You see, true feelings are not always loud. They don't always scream for attention. They lie in the subtle shifts, the quiet whispers in the heart, the calm clarity that emerges when you step outside of the immediate reaction. It's in those pauses, those moments of stillness, that we connect with the deeper truths that guide our lives. For a man, this process is incredibly powerful. Society often teaches us to keep our emotions under control, to act with reason and strength, to be unshaken by the waves of life. But what happens when we allow ourselves to feel without judgment? What happens when we give ourselves the space to simply be, without the pressure to constantly perform, to appear strong, to hide vulnerability? In stepping back, a man can discover his true emotional landscape. He can tap into feelings that are authentic, not influenced by ego or pride. He may feel a softness, a tenderness, a vulnerability that's always been there, but hidden beneath layers of defense mechanisms. These are the feelings that can guide him toward deeper connection, both with himself and with others. When we step back, we don't just give ourselves time to reflect, we give ourselves the opportunity to reconnect with our deepest truths. We allow the noise of life to settle, and in that space, we can listen more closely to the subtle messages our heart is sending. This is the essence of real emotional clarity. When we create space, we invite self-awareness. We step away from the rush of daily life, from the constant demand to act, and give ourselves the gift of introspection. This isn't just about thinking, it's about feeling deeply and authentically. In that stillness, we discover what we truly value, what we truly desire, and what we need to move forward with intention. So the next time life feels overwhelming, when emotions feel like they're pulling you in all directions, remember that the greatest act of strength can be to step back. It is in that pause that your true feelings can rise to the surface, clear and unclouded. Stepping back is not retreating, it's not giving up, it's creating space to listen to yourself, to your heart, to your soul, and in that space, you'll find the clarity you need to step forward with a greater understanding of who you truly are and what you truly feel. Thank you. Reflection is a powerful tool for personal growth and emotional understanding. It is the process of looking inward, taking time to analyze and evaluate our thoughts, behaviors, and reactions to the world around us. Often we are caught up in the rush of life, constantly reacting to circumstances, trying to meet expectations, or making decisions on autopilot. Reflection, however, invites us to pause and examine the deeper layers of our experiences. By reflecting, we give ourselves the opportunity to observe our emotions from a distance rather than being controlled by them in the moment. It allows us to see patterns in our thoughts and behavior that we may not have noticed before. For example, after a difficult interaction, taking the time to reflect on how we responded, what triggered us, and why we felt a certain way, can offer valuable insights into our emotional landscape. This can bring a sense of clarity that helps us navigate future situations more effectively. Reflection also opens the door to self-compassion. When we reflect on our actions and experiences, we can learn to be kinder to ourselves, recognizing that mistakes are part of the journey and growth. Instead of harshly judging ourselves, we can approach our experiences with curiosity, seeking to understand what they teach us rather than blaming ourselves for not being perfect. This shift in perspective can lead to greater emotional resilience and the ability to respond to challenges with a calmer, more balanced mindset. Moreover, reflection helps to reveal our deeper values and motivations. By looking back on moments when we felt proud, fulfilled, or truly connected, we gain insight into what truly matters to us. These reflections allow us to align our actions with our authentic selves, ensuring that we live in accordance with our values rather than simply reacting to external pressures or expectations. Introspection is the act of diving deep into one's inner world, exploring the mind, thoughts, and feelings with intentionality. Unlike general reflection, introspection focuses on understanding the deeper aspects of ourselves that are often hidden beneath the surface. It's a quiet inward journey where we ask ourselves probing questions and sit with the answers that arise without judgment or distraction. And this process of self-examination creates a direct connection with our core essence and allows us to confront both the light and shadow of who we are. Through introspection, we learn to identify and understand the underlying emotions and thought patterns that drive our behavior. For instance, we might discover that certain reactions are rooted in past experiences or unresolved emotions. When we acknowledge these roots, we gain the power to break free from unconscious cycles that may have limited our growth. Introspection invites us to become observers of our own minds, looking at our thoughts as they arise, understanding their origins, and questioning their validity. This process creates greater mental clarity and emotional intelligence. The power of introspection lies in its ability to foster self-awareness. The more we understand ourselves, the better equipped we are to navigate the complexities of life. Introspection helps us become conscious of our triggers, our desires, and our values, which in turn empowers us to make choices that are aligned with our true self. It also helps us recognize areas of conflict within ourselves, those moments when we are torn between different desires or goals. By understanding these internal conflicts, we can make peace with them and seek balance. Furthermore, introspection is a way of sharpening our intuition. When we take the time to truly listen to our inner voice, we build a stronger connection to our instincts. Over time, this cultivated intuition guides us with more confidence, offering wisdom that comes from a deep understanding of who we are at the very core. Emotional clarity is the state of being fully aware of and in touch with our feelings, without confusion or distortion. It's the ability to recognize, understand, and accept emotions as they arise, without being overwhelmed by them or disconnected from them. In a world where emotions can often be complex, layered, and intense, emotional clarity provides the calm center in the storm. It enables us to discern between what we truly feel and what we may be projecting based on external influences or past experiences. Achieving emotional clarity requires us to engage in the practice of self-awareness, where we pay close attention to our emotional responses. Instead of reacting immediately to situations, we take a step back to assess what is truly at the heart of our emotional reactions. Are we reacting out of fear, past hurt, or unmet expectations? Or are we genuinely responding to the current moment? Emotional clarity helps us peel back the layers, revealing the true cause of our feelings, which can often be more straightforward than we first realize. When we experience emotional clarity, we are able to approach difficult situations with a level of calmness and perspective. We understand that emotions, while powerful, do not need to control us. Instead, they are signals guiding us toward what we need to address or understand in our lives. By gaining clarity around our emotions, we are able to make decisions from a place of understanding rather than impulse or reactivity. This helps us communicate more effectively, navigate challenges more wisely, and maintain healthier relationships. Clarity in our emotions also empowers us to accept and embrace all of our feelings, whether they are positive or negative. Instead of suppressing or denying emotions like anger, sadness, or fear, we acknowledge them as part of our human experience. With emotional clarity, we allow ourselves to feel deeply and process those emotions in a healthy way without letting them dictate our actions. This acceptance enables us to move through emotions with greater ease and resilience. A vulnerability is often seen as a weakness, yet it is one of the most powerful expressions of strength and authenticity. It is the willingness to show up fully in life with all our imperfections and uncertainties, and to allow ourselves to be seen for who we truly are without masks or defenses. Vulnerability requires courage, as it means exposing parts of ourselves that we might otherwise keep hidden, whether it's our fears, our insecurities, or our deepest desires. It is about embracing the raw, unpolished aspects of our human experience and allowing ourselves to be open to others in the process. In the context of emotional growth, vulnerability is essential. When we are vulnerable, we break down the walls that separate us from others. We create deeper, more authentic connections, not based on perfection or appearances, but on shared humanity and realness. By opening ourselves up to others in this way, we invite true intimacy into our relationships. This act of sharing our authentic selves not only fosters connection with others, but also leads to greater self-acceptance. The more we allow ourselves to be vulnerable, the more we embrace our own humanity, flaws and all. However, vulnerability is not about being weak or passive. It is an active choice to expose ourselves to the world and risk emotional discomfort in order to experience deeper connection and growth. It involves being honest with ourselves about what we feel and being able to express those emotions openly. This is where true emotional strength lies, not in suppressing vulnerability, but in embracing it, knowing that it holds the key to personal transformation. When we are vulnerable, we give ourselves permission to feel, to express, and to heal. Furthermore, vulnerability creates the space for healing. It allows us to face our self-awareness is the foundation of emotional intelligence and personal growth. It is the ability to look inward and recognize our thoughts, feelings, and behaviors in a way that allows us to understand ourselves more deeply. Through self-awareness, we begin to identify not just what we feel in any given moment, but why we feel it, where it comes from, and how it influences our action. This level of understanding helps us become more attuned to our emotional states and allows us to make conscious choices about how to respond to them rather than reacting out of habit or impulse. With self-awareness, we start to see the patterns in our behavior, the triggers that evoke certain emotions, and the motivations behind our decisions. We become aware of the way our past experiences, beliefs, and values shape our current actions and reactions. This awareness gives us the opportunity to break free from automatic responses and to choose how we want to show up in the world. It creates space for us to make intentional decisions that align with our true selves, rather than simply responding to external pressures or following the status quo. In addition, self-awareness allows us to recognize areas where we may need to grow or heal. It helps us identify our strengths and areas of vulnerability, making us more open to personal development. By acknowledging our weaknesses without judgment, we create the possibility for growth and improvement. It also enables us to take responsibility for our actions rather than blaming others or external circumstances for our emotional states. Self-awareness empowers us to take control of our lives, to make choices that reflect our deepest values, and to approach challenges with greater clarity and confidence. Furthermore, being self-aware increases our ability to empathize with others. When we understand our own emotions and thought processes, we become better equipped to understand and relate to the experiences of those around us. This deeper understanding fosters healthier, more meaningful relationships. Stillness is a powerful state that allows us to access a deeper level of awareness and presence in our lives. In the constant rush of the world, we are often distracted by external noise, obligations, and the pressures of daily life. Stillness provides us with the opportunity to step away from this chaos and connect with ourselves on a deeper level. It's in these moments of stillness that we find clarity, a sense of peace, and the space to reflect on what truly matters to us. When we allow ourselves to experience stillness, we create the conditions necessary for personal growth, healing, and insight. In the midst of stillness, we begin to quiet the mind, which often tends to race with thoughts and worries. As we slow down, we create an internal environment where it becomes easier to hear our own inner voice. This voice is often drowned out by the noise of daily life, but in stillness, it becomes clear. It is the voice of our intuition, our true desires, and our authentic self. By learning to embrace stillness, we develop a stronger connection with our inner wisdom and intuition, which can guide us through life with greater purpose and direction. Stillness also helps us gain a better understanding of our emotions. When we are still, we give ourselves the time and space to observe how we truly feel without being influenced by external events or the demands of others. In this quiet space, we can process emotions more effectively, recognizing them for what they are and understanding their root causes. This process of emotional awareness allows us to respond to situations with greater clarity and composure rather than reacting impulsively. Moreover, stillness allows us to release tension and stress. In this stillness of the moment, we can reconnect with our breath, relax our bodies, and let go of the physical and emotional burdens we carry. This process of relaxation not only rejuvenates the body, but also clears the mind, making us more open to new insights and perspectives. Authenticity is the alignment of our thoughts, words, and actions with our true selves. It means living in a way that is consistent with our core values, beliefs, and desires, rather than conforming to external expectations or societal norms. When we are authentic, we act from a place of truth and self-awareness, without pretending to be something we are not. This alignment allows us to experience a deep sense of fulfillment, because we are not living in conflict with ourselves. Instead, we are embracing our uniqueness and showing up in the world as we truly are, free from the pressure to fit into a mold. Living authentically requires courage. It means being willing to stand firm in who we are, even when it may not be popular or accepted by others. It requires letting go of the need for approval and instead trusting in our own sense of worth and purpose. When we are authentic, we stop seeking validation from outside sources and begin to validate ourselves from within. This shift in perspective fosters a sense of inner peace and confidence, as we no longer feel the need to constantly compare ourselves to others or seek external affirmation. Authenticity also deepens our relationships. When we show up as our true selves, we invite others to do the same. This creates a space for genuine connection where people can share their real thoughts and feelings without fear of judgment. Authenticity builds trust and intimacy as it allows for vulnerability and honesty in interactions. It enables us to communicate more effectively and to create relationships that are based on mutual respect and understanding. In addition, living authentically brings a sense of purpose. When we align our actions with our deepest values, we feel more motivated and driven to pursue our goals. We stop engaging in activities or relationships that drain us, and instead we invest our time and energy in what truly Self-discovery is an ongoing journey of understanding who we truly are beneath the surface. It is the process of peeling back the layers of conditioning, societal expectations, and external influences to uncover the core of our authentic selves. Often we go through life based on the roles we've been taught to play or the identities we've been assigned, without ever stopping to question if those labels align with our true nature. Self-discovery invites us to explore our innermost desires, values, and beliefs, guiding us toward a more profound understanding of our purpose in life. Through self-discovery, we begin to ask deeper questions about who we are and what drives us. It's not merely about understanding our strengths and weaknesses, but about recognizing the deeper motivations behind our actions. What is it that truly inspires us? What brings us joy and what drains us? What do we fear and why? These questions allow us to confront the parts of ourselves that have remained hidden, often buried under years of unexamined habits and assumptions. This journey often requires us to face uncomfortable truths about ourselves. We may uncover parts of our personality or our past that we have been avoiding or suppressing. But through this confrontation, we can release old wounds and free ourselves from limiting beliefs. Self-discovery provides the opportunity to reframe our narratives, to let go of past identities that no longer serve us, and to embrace new, more empowering ways of seeing ourselves. It's about creating a new relationship with who we are, one that is more aligned with our true values and authentic desires. As we engage in self-discovery, we also develop a deeper sense of self-acceptance. We begin to love and appreciate ourselves for who we are, flaws and all. The process teaches us that we don't need to be perfect to be worthy. Instead, we recognize that our imperfections are part of our unique human experience, and they give us the depth and character that make us who we are. Emotional depth is the ability to experience, understand, and express a wide range of emotions with authenticity and sensitivity. It involves not only recognizing what we feel, but also allowing ourselves to fully experience these emotions without fear or avoidance. When we embrace emotional depth, we open ourselves to the full spectrum of human experience, from joy and love to sorrow and grief. This level of emotional engagement provides us with a richer, more nuanced understanding of ourselves and the world around us. It enables us to connect with others on a deeper level and to approach life's challenges with greater resilience. To cultivate emotional depth, we must first be willing to feel. Many people fear their emotions, particularly the more uncomfortable ones like sadness, anger, or fear. However, avoiding these emotions only leads to suppression and stagnation. Emotional depth requires us to sit with our feelings, even when they are difficult, and to understand what they are telling us. By acknowledging our emotions, we gain insight into our needs, desires, and fears. We start to recognize patterns in how we react to certain situations, and this awareness allows us to respond more thoughtfully rather than reacting out of impulse or frustration. Emotional depth also allows us to empathize with others in a more profound way. When we have experienced a wide range of emotions ourselves, we become more attuned to the emotions of others. We can connect on a deeper level, offering support and understanding in ways that are more meaningful. This ability to tune into the emotional experiences of others strengthens our relationships and fosters greater compassion. Furthermore, emotional depth brings a sense of wholeness and integration. When we embrace both the light and dark sides of our emotional landscape, we become more authentic in our interactions and more comfortable in our own skin. We no longer feel the need to hide or suppress parts of ourselves, and as a result, we can live more fully and with greater peace. Emotional resilience is the capacity to adapt to and recover from difficult emotional experiences. It is the ability to face adversity, challenges, and setbacks with strength, maintaining a sense of balance and well-being, even in the face of hardship. Emotional resilience does not mean being unaffected by life's difficulties. Rather, it means having the tools and mindset to navigate through them without losing our sense of self or purpose. It's about bouncing back from difficult emotions or situations, learning from them, and growing stronger in the process. One of the key components of emotional resilience is emotional regulation. This is the ability to manage and respond to emotions in a healthy way, even when faced with stress or adversity. Rather than reacting impulsively or letting emotions dictate our actions, emotional regulation allows us to take a step back, process our feelings, and choose a response that aligns with our values and long-term goals. It involves recognizing when we are overwhelmed, taking time to breathe, and giving ourselves permission to process difficult emotions rather than suppressing them. Another important aspect of emotional resilience is self-compassion. When we face setbacks or challenges, it's easy to be hard on ourselves, to feel like we've failed or aren't strong enough. Self-compassion teaches us to treat ourselves with the same kindness and understanding that we would offer to a friend in a similar situation. By practicing self-compassion, we allow ourselves to make mistakes, to learn, and to grow without harsh judgment. This mindset helps us move through difficult times with more grace and less self-criticism, which enhances our ability to bounce back from challenges. Emotional resilience is also deeply connected to our sense of purpose and perspective. When we have a clear sense of what truly matters to us, it becomes